And what would your wrestling name be?
El Guapo.
What does that even mean?
For over a decade, Corey Big Hoss Harrison grew up before America's eyes on Pawn Stars. From a young kid learning the ropes of the family business to becoming one of the key figures in the world-famous gold and silver pawn shop, Corey seemed destined for fame, fortune, and success. But behind the counters and cameras, his life has been filled with challenges, shocking twists, and heartbreaking tragedies. From dramatic weight loss struggles to personal setbacks and even a life-threatening accident, Corey's story is one of resilience, but also of pain that most fans never saw on screen. So what really happened to Corey Harrison, and where is he now? Growing up in the pawn business. Corey Harrison wasn't just a cast member of Pawn Stars, he was practically raised inside the gold and silver pawn shop. As Rick Harrison's son and Richard Old Man Harrison's grandson, the pawn world was in his blood. From age 9, Corey was learning how to price items, negotiate with customers, and spot treasures among the junk. By the time the History Channel show launched in 2009, Corey was already a key employee. Fans watched him clash with his dad over business decisions, negotiate tough deals, and balance his role between being Rick's son and an independent voice in the shop. But behind the TV personality, Corey was also a young man struggling with the weight of expectations, not just from fans, but from his own family legacy. How do you carve out your own path when the world already decided who you should be? The fight for independence. Corey wasn't content with just being Rick's son. Over the years, he pushed to have more say in the family business. Viewers saw heated arguments as Corey fought for a bigger stake in the shop, often challenging Rick's authority. Some fans saw him as entitled, while others admired him for trying to build his own identity. This tension wasn't just for TV, it was real. Corey knew that one day the shop could be his responsibility. But until then, he had to prove he could handle the pressure. It wasn't easy. Rick was a tough boss, and the old man was even tougher. And while Corey often tried to innovate, bringing in new ideas for marketing or expanding the shop, he frequently ran into resistance. The question lingered, would Corey ever truly step out of his father's shadow? Or was he destined to always be the son in a business built by his family? The weight of fame and the battle for health. When Pawn Stars became a global phenomenon, Corey Harrison quickly went from a regular pawn shop worker to a household name. But with the fame came scrutiny, especially over his appearance. Fans often mocked his size, and Corey himself admitted that he struggled with his weight for years. At one point, he weighed over 400 pounds. The turning point came when Corey's doctor gave him a terrifying warning. If he didn't make drastic changes, he might not live long enough to see his future unfold. Faced with the possibility of an early death, Corey took a life-changing step. He underwent gastric band surgery in 2010. The results were dramatic. Corey lost over 150 pounds, transforming not only his body, but also his outlook on life. Suddenly, he was healthier, more energetic, and determined to keep the weight off through diet and exercise. But even with the transformation, Corey admitted that the emotional scars from years of insecurity didn't disappear overnight. Fame had magnified every flaw, every criticism, and every mistake. So the question remained, could Corey maintain not just his physical health, but also his mental resilience in the harsh spotlight of reality TV? Love, loss, and personal struggles. Away from the cameras, Corey's personal life has been marked by ups and downs. He's been married twice, first to his childhood sweetheart Charlene, and later to Karina, a woman he met in Las Vegas. Unfortunately, neither marriage lasted. Divorce hit Corey hard, and he often kept the details private, but it was clear that balancing fame, business pressures, and relationships wasn't easy. In interviews, Corey has admitted that his life in the spotlight put a strain on his personal relationships. The constant filming schedule, public attention, and family drama often made it difficult to find stability at home. And just when fans thought Corey was turning a corner, tragedy struck. He was involved in a serious motorcycle accident in 2014. He broke his hand and injured his back, a stark reminder that life could change in an instant. While he recovered, the accident was another obstacle in an already challenging journey. With fame, health battles, failed marriages, and near-death experiences all shaping his life, many fans began to wonder, how much more could Corey take before it all became too much? Corey's changing role on Pawn Stars. As Pawn Stars entered its later seasons, fans noticed that Corey's role in the shop began to shift. Early on, he was front and center, arguing with Rick, challenging the old man, and trying to assert himself as the future of the business. But over time, Corey seemed less prominent, sparking rumors about tension behind the scenes. Some speculated that Corey had grown frustrated with the show's direction. Others believed Rick wanted to keep control of the narrative, limiting how much say Corey had on air. Whatever the truth, Corey himself admitted that the pawn shop wasn't just a TV set for him. It was his real job. He had to balance the responsibilities of filming a hit series with the day-to-day grind of running the store. The old man's death in 2018 added another layer of pressure. With his grandfather gone, Corey knew that one day the future of the gold and silver pawn shop would rest in his hands. But was he ready to carry the weight of an empire while still fighting his own personal battles? Seeking identity. Outside the show, Corey has always been candid about wanting to create a life outside of Pawn Stars. While the show made him a recognizable face around the world, he didn't want to be defined solely by reality TV. He began investing in other businesses, including bars and restaurants in Las Vegas. For Corey, it was about independence, proving that he could succeed without leaning entirely on his father or the pawn shop. Some ventures thrived, others didn't, but each move showed his determination to build something of his own. At the same time, Corey's relationship with the media remained complicated. He was grateful for the fame Pawn Stars brought, but he often felt the downside too. Constant public attention, paparazzi moments, and fans who only saw the TV version of him, not the real man behind the scenes. So, the question became, could Corey Harrison reinvent himself outside of Pawn Stars, or would he forever be tied to the world his father built? Family ties and tensions. For Corey, the gold and silver pawn shop was never just a business. It was family. Working alongside his father Rick and grandfather Richard, Old Man Harrison shaped not only his career, but also his personal identity. The old man was famously strict, often clashing with Corey about his decisions, but deep down, there was mutual respect. When the old man passed away in 2018, Corey described it as one of the most devastating moments of his life. He lost not just a mentor, but the man who had been a guiding presence since childhood. Then there's Rick, Corey's father. Their relationship has always been complicated. On screen, their arguments entertained viewers, but off-camera, it reflected a real struggle for balance. Corey wanted more ownership and independence, while Rick wanted to maintain control over the family empire. The tension between them wasn't just about money, it was about legacy. And through it all, Corey had to juggle grief, responsibility, and the pressure of carrying on the Harrison name. The weight of expectation never truly left him. But the real question was, could he uphold the family legacy without losing himself in the process? The bond with Chumlee. If there's one relationship that's defined Corey's time on Pawn Stars, it's his friendship with Austin Chumlee Russell. The two grew up together, and over the years, their bond has been both hilarious and heartfelt. Fans loved seeing Corey's eye rolls whenever Chumlee made a ridiculous comment, but behind the scenes, their friendship ran much deeper. When Chumlee faced serious legal troubles in 2016, Corey stood by his friend. Many people distanced themselves, but Corey publicly supported him, reminding everyone that Chumlee was more than his mistakes. It showed a side of Corey that fans didn't always see: loyal, protective, and willing to stand by the people he cared about. But loyalty came at a price. Supporting Chumlee during those controversies also meant Corey absorbed some of the criticism himself. Fans and media alike speculated about whether the pawnshop crew was as stable as it seemed. Still, Corey never turned his back on his friend. For all the fame, fortune, and family drama, it was clear that some bonds, like the one he shared with Chumlee, were unbreakable. The question is, as Corey continues to carve out his path, will those friendships and family ties be enough to carry him through the next chapter of his life? The man behind Big Hoss. Corey Harrison's story isn't just about a reality TV star. It's about a man who grew up in the shadow of a business, a family legacy, and the spotlight of worldwide fame. From a 9-year-old boy learning the ropes of pawnbroking to a global television personality, to someone who has fought through personal struggles, heartbreaks, and near tragedies, Corey has lived a life few could imagine. He's faced the crushing weight of fame, battled for his health, endured failed marriages, and rebuilt himself time and again. Through it all, Corey has shown resilience. He may not always be the loudest personality on Pawn Stars, but his journey reveals a quieter truth. Behind the deals, the laughs, and the family drama, there's a man who has worked tirelessly to prove he's more than just Rick's son. Today, Corey continues to balance life between the pawn shop, his business ventures, and carving out his own identity beyond the show. His story is still being written, but one thing is certain: Corey Harrison is a survivor. So, what do you think? Has Corey finally found his place in the world, or will the pressures of fame and family continue to weigh him down? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget, like this video, subscribe for more untold stories, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a deep dive into the hidden truths behind the lives of the people you thought you knew. Because sometimes, the most fascinating treasures aren't found in a pawn shop. They're found in the lives of those who've lived them.